Taking control of your mind. The truth about mental health. Welcome to Rerzeh Health, your guide to better health and wellness. Have you ever had a thought that scared you? A thought so negative that it made you wonder if something was wrong with you? Well, you're not alone. Every day, millions of people struggle with their thoughts, wondering if they're mentally sick or just overthinking. But what if I told you that negative thoughts are normal? What if I told you that even the most successful people, scientists, leaders, and creators, have these thoughts too? The real difference is in how they handle them. In this video, we'll explore the delicate issue of mental health, not just from a medical perspective, but from a human perspective. How our minds work, why we have dark thoughts, and most importantly, how to control them. Because mental health is more than just medication, it's about education and self-awareness. Let's begin. Understanding the mind. The brain, a multi-layered organ. The brain is an incredibly complex and multitasking organ. Scientists say the average person has 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and not all of them are positive. It can switch between different mental frequencies: positive frequency, creativity, motivation, gratitude. Negative frequency: fear, doubt, anger, sadness. Survival frequency: analyzing dangers, worrying about the future. The problem arises when people get stuck on one frequency, especially the negative one. Did you know that your brain is like a radio receiver, constantly tuning into different frequencies of thought? One moment, you might feel inspired and hopeful. The next, you might be overwhelmed by doubt, fear, or even anger. These shifts are normal. What matters is how we respond to them. Negative thoughts don't mean you're mentally ill. They mean you're human. Even the most successful people, scientists, inventors, leaders, experience moments of self-doubt and negativity. The difference is how they handle it. Why do we think negative thoughts? Some of the reasons are: evolutionary psychology. The brain is wired to detect threats. The human brain has evolved over thousands of years to prioritize survival. In ancient times, early humans faced constant threats, predators, hostile tribes, and environmental dangers. Their brains had to be highly alert, always scanning for risks to avoid harm. This survival instinct, known as the fight or flight response, helped our ancestors react quickly to danger. If a rustle in the bushes could be a lion, it was safer to assume the worst and run than to ignore it and risk being attacked. This instinctual threat detection was crucial for survival in the wild. However, in the modern world, the same mental wiring still exists, even though we no longer face the same life-threatening dangers. Instead of worrying about predators, our brains now react to social rejection, financial stress, and uncertainty as if they were physical threats. This is why situations like public speaking, a job interview, or negative feedback can trigger anxiety. Our brain perceives these as dangers and activates the stress response, even though our physical safety is not at risk. Additionally, this survival-based wiring makes negative experiences more memorable than positive ones. This is known as the negativity bias, a tendency to focus on potential threats or bad experiences rather than good ones. It's why we might dwell on one harsh comment even after receiving dozens of compliments. Understanding this aspect of evolutionary psychology helps us manage fear and anxiety more effectively. We can remind ourselves that not every fear is a real danger, and just because our brain detects a threat doesn't mean we are actually in danger. By practicing mindfulness, reframing negative thoughts, and developing emotional resilience, we can train our brains to focus less on unnecessary fears and more on rational thinking and personal growth. Cognitive distortions. When your mind tricks you. Cognitive distortions are irrational or exaggerated thought patterns that negatively influence how we perceive ourselves, others, and the world around us. These thoughts feel real, but they are often misleading, inaccurate, and rooted in fear, insecurity, or past experiences. When left unchecked, they can fuel anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, making everyday challenges feel much worse than they actually are. For example, if someone thinks, "Nobody likes me," they are likely engaging in all or nothing thinking or overgeneralization. In reality, it's highly unlikely that nobody likes them, but their mind convinces them of this extreme conclusion based on one bad interaction or an assumption. Similarly, the thought, "I'll never succeed," is an example of catastrophizing, assuming the worst-case scenario without considering alternative outcomes. Other common cognitive distortions include mind reading, assuming we know what others are thinking, e.g., they must think I'm boring. Personalization, taking responsibility for things outside our control, e.g., they're upset, it must be my fault. Filtering, focusing only on the negatives while ignoring the positives, e.g., I got one bad review, so I must be terrible at my job. Should statements, placing rigid, unrealistic expectations on ourselves, e.g., I should always be happy. Recognizing these distortions is the first step toward breaking free from their grip. Once we become aware of them, we can challenge these thoughts with logic, evidence, and self-compassion. Instead of blindly believing every thought that enters our mind, we can ask ourselves, is this thought based on facts or just feelings? What would I say to a friend who thought this way? Is there another way to look at this situation? By identifying and reframing cognitive distortions, we take back control from negative thinking patterns, allowing us to see reality more clearly and respond to challenges with greater emotional resilience. Emotional memories. This is how past traumas and bad experiences shape how we think today. Our minds are like storage units, holding on to every experience we've encountered, both good and bad. Emotional memories, especially those tied to past traumas and painful experiences, play a significant role in shaping how we think, react, and perceive the world today. When we go through difficult situations, our brain creates mental associations, often as a protective mechanism. For instance, someone who has experienced betrayal may struggle with trust, while someone who faced constant criticism might battle self-doubt. These past experiences can trigger automatic negative thoughts, anxiety, or even self-sabotaging behaviors. However, understanding that these memories influence our present mindset allows us to challenge them, reframe our perspectives, and regain control. Healing from past traumas requires self-awareness, emotional processing, and, in many cases, professional guidance, but it is possible to reshape our thinking and break free from the hold of negative emotional memories. Social influence. This is how negative news, toxic environments, and social media create fear and self-doubt. The world around us has a powerful impact on our thoughts, emotions, and overall mental well-being. Every day, we are exposed to various forms of social influence, whether through the news, our social circles, or digital platforms. Negative news, which often dominates headlines, can create a sense of fear, helplessness, and anxiety about the future. Constant exposure to stories of crime, disasters, and conflicts can make the world seem more dangerous than it truly is, leading to chronic stress and a pessimistic outlook. Toxic environments, whether at work, home, or within friendships, drain our emotional energy and can make us question our worth. Being surrounded by negativity, criticism, or unhealthy competition fosters self-doubt, making it difficult to maintain confidence and mental stability. Social media, while offering connection and information, can also be a major source of mental distress. The endless comparison to curated, often unrealistic portrayals of other people's lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, and a distorted sense of reality. The pressure to seek validation through likes and comments can create anxiety, while exposure to online negativity, bullying, or misinformation can damage mental health. Recognizing the influence of these external factors is the first step in protecting our well-being. By setting boundaries, curating our information sources, and surrounding ourselves with supportive and uplifting people, we can minimize the negative impact of social influences and maintain a healthier, more balanced mindset. Self-inflicted mental suffocation. Being honest with ourselves is a crucial step toward mental stability. The reality is that we can't achieve everything we desire in life. Some goals may take time, while others may simply be beyond our reach. Learning to accept this truth helps protect our mental well-being. We must develop the mindset that life is a balance of wins and losses. Holding on too tightly to unattainable goals can lead to unnecessary stress, frustration, and even mental exhaustion. True strength lies in knowing when to let go and understanding that some things, no matter how much we want them, are not essential for a happy and fulfilling life. The world around us has a powerful impact on our thoughts, emotions, and overall mental well-being. Every day, we are exposed to various forms of social influence, whether through the news, our social circles, or digital platforms. The missing link: education and self-mastery. In today's world, mental health is often treated reactively rather than proactively. When people struggle with anxiety, depression, or stress, they are often given medication as a quick fix rather than being taught how to understand and manage their thoughts. The real issue? Society doesn't prioritize mental resilience, self-awareness, or emotional intelligence. Schools teach math, science, and history, but they fail to teach one of the most essential life skills: how to regulate emotions, cope with stress, and navigate difficult thoughts. The result? Many people feel powerless against their own minds. They assume that negative thoughts define them or that they have no control over their mental state. This leads to cycles of self-doubt, anxiety, and even depression. Without proper education on emotional regulation, people often internalize their struggles, believing that something is inherently wrong with them when, in reality, they simply lack the tools to manage their minds effectively. The truth is that thoughts are not facts. Just because a thought enters your mind does not mean it is true or that you must act on it. You have the power to challenge and reframe negative thinking patterns. Through self-mastery techniques such as mindfulness, cognitive behavioral strategies, journaling, and meditation, you can train your mind to work for you rather than against you. Learning to observe your thoughts without being controlled by them is a skill, one that can be developed with practice and awareness. By integrating mental resilience training into education and daily life, people can build the skills they need to handle stress, process emotions, and navigate challenges without relying solely on external solutions like medication. Self-mastery is the missing link in modern mental health solutions. When people learn to take charge of their own minds, they become empowered to lead healthier, more fulfilling lives. How to take control of your mind? The power of self-awareness. Recognizing negative thoughts is the first step. Ask yourself: is this thought based on fact or emotion? Would I believe this thought if I was in a good mood? Would I say this to a friend? If not, why say it to yourself? How to break negative thought patterns. Cognitive reframing. Turn negative thoughts into challenges. Example: instead of "I'm a failure," say "I'm learning and improving." Instead of "nobody cares about me," say "I need to reach out and connect more." Journaling. Writing down negative thoughts can help separate you from your thoughts. Mindfulness and meditation helps calm the overactive mind. Practical strategies for a healthier mind. Daily gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Exercise. Physical activity releases endorphins, natural mood boosters. Good sleep. A rested mind handles stress better. Social connection. Talking to the right people can heal more than medicine. Human connection is a fundamental aspect of mental well-being. Engaging with the right people, those who offer support, understanding, and encouragement, can have a profound healing effect, often more powerful than medication alone. Meaningful conversations provide emotional relief, reduce feelings of isolation, and help us gain new perspectives on our struggles. Whether it's confiding in a close friend, seeking guidance from a mentor, or joining a supportive community, the act of sharing our thoughts and feelings can ease mental burdens and foster resilience. True healing begins when we surround ourselves with people who uplift, listen without judgment, and remind us that we are not alone. Morality is a mental health guide. Morality and self-reflection can help filter thoughts. Before acting on a thought, ask yourself: would I be okay if someone did this to me? Would I do this to my child or loved one? Example: you're angry at a child who made a mistake. Your brain tells you to be harsh. If it were your own child, would you be as harsh? This simple question can help you respond with kindness and fairness. Using moral reasoning helps correct impulsive negative thoughts. Conclusion. The path to mental strength. The mind is powerful, but you are more powerful. Every person, no matter how successful, has dark thoughts. The difference is how they handle them. Mental health is not just about therapy or medication. It's about understanding yourself, taking control of your thoughts, and choosing to focus on what empowers you. So remember, you are not alone. You are not broken. And you have the strength to take control of your mind. Be in charge of your thoughts and actions. If others can overcome challenges, so can you. Believe in your ability to rise above negativity. Every step forward counts, no matter how small. Start today, and keep going. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe for more life-changing content. Comment below. What's one strategy you use to control negative thoughts?